No other state agency touches the lives of more Mainers than the Department of Health and Human Services.
It is the largest department in state government, and today we learned that its leader, Commissioner Jeanne Lambrew, is stepping down.
Chris Costa sat down with Lambrew and with Governor Janet Mills today in a wide-ranging interview you will see only here on News Center Maine. Hi, Chris.
Brian and Amanda, Commissioner Lambrew oversaw DHHS through Medicaid expansion, the COVID-19 pandemic, and a rash of child deaths, kids who DHHS caseworkers were supposed to protect. Both she and Governor Mills realized there is much more work to be done, specifically in child welfare and mental and behavioral health services. Unsurprisingly, the challenge is finding the money to pay people to do this difficult work.
We need to pay sufficiently. So we've invested over $500 million in Maine care payment rates for behavioral health alone. But I also would say, especially in the wake of the pandemic and Lewiston and our storms, we are very focused on crisis services. We know that it's critical to be able to have some place to call, like 988, somewhere to go, like a crisis receiving center, or someone to respond. We're really trying to build out our mobile crisis, because bringing services to somebody's home so they don't have to go to an emergency department, which is very stressful, or don't get a police call and end up in a county jail. That is what we're trying to accomplish. We feel good about our progress. The need is great. We have more work to do.
So too in child welfare. Caseworkers have reported being overworked, undersupported, and underpaid. To address that, the department is giving caseworkers recruitment and retention bonuses. $1,000 for anybody who was working there in January of this year. Another $1,000 halfway through the year, and a third $1,000 payment if that worker is still there at the end of 2024. Lambrew said vacant positions have decreased by 25% in 2024 alone, leaving 55 caseworker positions open.
We're working on those night and weekend hours. We revise our overtime policy to make it more fair, and again, go back to leadership. Bobby Johnson's walked the walk. She gets it. She is spending lots of time with every office, every team, because we've heard a lot about culture and respect, and that's very important for us to inculcate. But the last thing I will say is, because evidence matters, we are very committed to a child safety and family well-being plan that we announced last year. We're developing places where families can go in communities, developing our community partnerships, because doing this within the four squares of just the child welfare system is not sufficient. The more we can support these families before that fork in the road where there might be abuse, there might be neglect, that's really what we're trying to do. And I think the governor has that plan, and I hope that she and my successor continue that work.
We also asked them both about the new law that requires a 72-hour waiting period before completing the purchase of a firearm.
I talked with those businesses before I made my decision. I talked to people all over the state of Maine, people on both sides of the issue, and I think there are valid points to be made, people of goodwill on both sides of that issue. We'll see how that works out. In the meantime, we are seeing real strong effectiveness, significant benefits from the extreme risk protection order law that's in effect and has just been strengthened.
I also think it's time, with 2.5 years left for the governor, for her to be able to find somebody with some fresh energy and new ideas to help ensure that when Governor Mills' term ends, the state is even stronger than it is today.
Commissioner Lambrew is going to work for a health policy think tank based in Washington, D.C. She'll also be teaching at Harvard School of Public Health. There's no timetable yet for when the governor could select a new commissioner, but she said filling Lambrew's shoes will be difficult.
Chris Costa live in our studio tonight. Chris, thank you.